umaga, nood lang ng unang hirit.
Sa unang hirit, bisyong totoo ang unang hirit. Ang saya-saya sa unang hirit.
Mga kapuso, na-impeach na nga po sa Kongreso si Supreme Court Chief Justice Renato Corona. 188 kongresista ang pumirma pabor po sa impeachment complaint laban sa punong mahistrado at nakatakda itong tanggapin ngayon araw ng Senado. Kaya ang tanong, ganito nga ba dapat kabilis ang impeachment ng isang Chief Justice o tila lubos itong inaapura o inapura? At posible nga ba tayong mauwi sa isang constitutional crisis kung tuluyang mapatalsik na nga sa pwesto si Chief Justice Corona? Yan naman po ang pag-uusapan natin kasama si Professor Winnie Monsod. Good morning, Tita Winnie.
Good morning, Connie. Good morning, mga kapuso. Alam nyo, the process of removal of a Chief Justice or any Justice of the Supreme Court is talagang impeachment. Ako talagang sinasabi ko, wag nyong ibaliwala ang Supreme Court. Kung gusto nyong alisin, gawin nyo through the impeachment. Don't defy the Supreme Court. Protect the institution. Kaya lang, mga kapuso, itong talagang prosesong ginamit nila, sobra ng bilis. I agree with you. Supreme Court Justice, the process must be a little bit more laden with responsibility because, alam niyo, sa United States, for example, only one Associate Justice of the Supreme Court was ever impeached. This was all the way back in 1804.
Okay.
At saka alam mo, 8 articles of impeachment pa. 8 articles of impeachment, the same, parang, wrong partisan decisions. The way exactly, like Corona is big. And the Senate that tried, kaya, alam nyo, this is one good reason why I really want a Senate because you want a body who's a little bit more naman
Pinag-aralan
responsible.
talaga.
Oo. And in the case of Samuel Chase, the Associate Justice, alam nyo, na-acquit siya. Bakit? Miski the senators were all Republicans, talagang majority. Hindi nila kinonvict si Samuel Chase kasi sabi nila hindi mali yun. Ayun.
So talagang sa pananaw nyo ay inapura, no? Na masyadong
I
mabilis.
think they should have at least discussed it. Hindi pwede. Kagaya, sabi nga ni Samuel Chase noon hindi na democracy ito, mobocracy. Mob rule.
Okay. Eto na nga, kaugnay po niyan, makakausap naman natin sa pamagitan ng telepono si Father Ranhilio Aquino, Dean ng Graduate School of Law ng San Beda College. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Father Ranhilio.
Good morning. Good morning, Professor Winnie.
Good morning, Father. What do you think of the process? You think due process was followed?
What I can say is that I am rather shocked by the speed at which things developed. Only a few days ago, or even yesterday, they were just talk of the Chief Justice being impeached, and then at night we have the fact of impeachment already. So when you impeach an impeachable official, kaya nga impeachable yan and not removable by the ordinary process, that means he occupies a serious office. And therefore, the process by which he is removed should be equally serious, studied, and judicious.
Di muna, Father Ranilio, hindi ba 2 weeks ago ang pinag-uusapan nilang ma-impeach si Justice Del Castillo?
Yes, it seems Justice Del Castillo was on the pipeline, yes.
Niwala itong si Renato Corona. What do you think? Anong isip nyo tungkol sa politics? Hindi ba impeachment is a political process?
It is.
Why should you be upset about how the political process was undertaken, Father Ranilio?
Well, because political or not, it still is. It still consists in rendering a public official accountable, and is the prelude to the trial of a Chief Justice. That's no light matter at all. And while it is political, I wish that we would be more mature and take it beyond the level of a numbers game and make it a real exercise in political justice.
In other words, politics is all right, pero partisan politics is something else. Wag naman.
Well, not even just partisan politics. This kind of politics we have in the Philippines, which apparently operates on the basis of patronage and vendetta.
So ano ang akala niyo mangyayari sa Senado? Given ang composition ng ating Senate ngayon, yung membership ng Senate natin, ano kaya ang outlook ninyo? Optimistic, pessimistic?
Alam niyo po, initially, ako rin ay tumututol sa Senado kasi parang nadodoble yung legislative process. Pero in the light sa mga pangyayari ngayon, I favor the existence of a Senate because the composition of the Senate is fortunately at the moment more reliable than the composition of the lower house.
So, pero
And so
anong...
I expect I expect a trial that at least has the appearances of fairness. I hope it will not just be appearances. I hope it will be really fair.
Narinig niyo ba, nabasa niyo ba yung articles of impeachment, Father Danilo? 8 yata yung charges, including corruption, including yung decision nila sa League of Cities, etc.
Yeah, you know, Professor, yes, actually last night I had the time to peruse, but I think they all gravitate around decisions which are perceived to be partisan, decisions which are perceived to be violative of the Constitution. But I really find that strange because that it cannot be a ground for impeaching a Chief Justice unless it is patent that there was corruption, unless it is patent that there was abuse of power. In this case, you disagree with the decision. So that's part of the decision-making process. The losers will always disagree with the decision.
Okay, Father, marami ho kasing syempre nakarinig po kahapon doon sa flag ceremony, no, na sinabi ho mismo ni Chief Justice Renato Corona na lalaban siya. Ipaglalaban niya po ang hudikatura. At syempre ang parati hong naririnig din natin, magkakaroon nga ba ng constitutional crisis ngayon pong gumugulong na itong impeachment.
Ano bang ibig sabihin ng constitutional crisis? Everybody talks about it and nobody quite knows what it means. Ano bang ibig sabihin nun, Father?
You know, sa unang-una pa lang, sinasabi ko na, a constitutional crisis sa akin lang doesn't have to be anything dramatic. It simply means that the branches of the three great branches of government are dysfunctional. And at the present time, talagang dysfunctional na kasi kung anong inuutos ng Korte Suprema, hindi tinutupad ng ehekutibo. Ang ehekutibo naman nakikipagsagwatan sa lower house in order to fast-track impeachment proceedings, which should be studied and really reviewed with great care. So I think what we have is a government where two branches, or at least the executive and one part of one branch, seem to be intent at doing things their way without necessarily following the dictates of law.
Okay. Pero one final question, pero Father Ranillo, if they want to remove Corona, what is the only process? Isn't impeachment the only process?
Well, Article 11 says impeachment for and conviction by the Senate. So there's a second phase to that. He has been impeached, but now he stands trial. So if they really want to remove him, the second phase must also be fulfilled, which is conviction by the Senate.
But hindi ba si Senator Franklin Drilon ang siyang naglabas ng ebidensya na Corona was partisan in his decisions, partisan for Gloria Arroyo?
That's exactly why, in the case of impeachable officials, dapat ang mga senador ay hindi dapat magdadaktak muna kasi they become judges eventually.
Yeah.
And as in any process, that would be ground. They kept on asking for the inhibition of Corona. They should also ask now for the inhibition of Trilon and the likes of him.
Oh boy. Sige.
Okay. Maraming salamat po sa inyo, Father Ranillo Aquino, ang Dean ng Graduate School of Law ng San Beda College, at syempre kay Professor Winnie Monson.
Magdasal na lang tayo para sa bansa.
Ayun na nga. At mamaya po mga kapuso, pag-uusapan pa natin ang pagkaka-impeach kay Chief Justice Renato Corona sa Talakayan with Igan, kasama ng po si House Deputy Speaker Erin Tanyada na isa sa mga pumirma sa impeachment complaint. At para sa kabilang panig, makakausap naman po natin si Congresswoman Mitos Magsaysay. Narito na po ang unang balita.
Ang mga unang balita sa umagang ito. Chief Justice Renato Corona na-impeach na ng Kamara